Endpoint did win that knife. Just CT. Pretty standard, really. From the boys there.
That's what you want to see. If there is any problems with
They're
audio
playing
issues,
retake B.
let me know, because it's on the fly. I've set this up quickly. It's a fast one, Ben. Much like this round.
Yeah, they're playing retake B with Max and Market. He's got an interesting name on that USP of his, to be fair. I reckon he named that himself.
What's Max called it? Oh.
To be fair, that was an interesting one.
That is vintage Mighty Max right there, to be fair.
Yeah. I'm just to see what. So it's gonna be a B split end goal, right? But there's no info being made. Max will get the info they're coming in B. But I feel like you don't play retake B. Mirage B site is just horrible to retake. You've only got a single smoke as well. And that's gone out, and there's a gap on the left of it. I'm not sure how this is gonna go.
Max with a snapshot there. Lazar as well. Thomas comes back through with the shutdown on Starix, and all of a sudden it's up to Smike. Smike's dead.
That should be right, because they've got Max's kit wherever he died, but they don't actually need it anyway. Somebody better go pick that up though. Get the money. There we go. Boaster grabs it. So I mean, that's worked out, but I feel like the big part of it was, if Max doesn't get that first kill, I think the round is probably done. Because if they don't get that first kill and the entry push around that corner, it'd be really tough. Really tough. And that should mean that k1ck eco, unless we see something wild from them. So the MP9s are out, the eco frag hunting is out. I feel like I'm going to watch Thomas this round. Oh, he's going to a B. They're just running up Palace. Pulse. Yeah, Pulse.
Yeah,
Pulse cam.
Could go huge.
Definite Pulse cam.
Well, is the ducky loose though? He's finished
It
all
is, look,
Pulse
it
with
is,
one.
there we go, he should get. Ooh, we knew that third. I mean, he's nearly made his money back, right? That's whatever. And complaints about the server. That's.
Yeah, they're not happy.
I haven't really seen it on KOTV. It's felt fine
Yeah,
thus far.
it looks alright.
It doesn't feel any different. That's the main thing, right? That's...
Normally you can see it because it starts stuttering. It looks a bit weird.
Yeah. So we might end up seeing a server change here.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oof.
Well, that is ideal.
Ooh, they just get the timeout. k1ck have just done is different to what they did have before that match medic, by the way. They did originally buy an AWP. They've not decided to this time.
Right. Call it
so
off.
That's one instant difference. And, I mean, Endpoint have gone ham for that.
They've really... I don't understand why they've just gone so aggressive there. Pulse has given it.
He did get the 1-for-1. Oh,
Same.
Is there more server lag?
Again, change? Yeah, they're not happy.
Oh. Ooh.
Oh. So,
The pings look the same again, though. They must have been on a France server. After the round, yeah. They can't do it, like, this is mid-round.
Yeah, they have to play this out now. Right, well, let's see who gets this then. Thomas is about to be in a world of pain.
Yeah. He's got an interesting objective ahead of him. He's gonna get that one. Potentially a second? Maybe a third, actually, if he gets that kill.
Oh,
Scooby is low, no trades! Oh, that's pretty unlucky.
Yeah.
But again, he's got 2 kills and he had the info. But a bit of an over-rotate from Endpoint. Especially with Starix here. Former Na'Vi man. Unfortunate.
Dead now.
Dead now. And we will be getting another server change
Yeah,
after
they are
this round
going to
concludes.
change server again. Change again!
Yeah. Arch believes in the Netherlands quite strongly.
Yeah, he's got a lot of faith in the Dutch servers there.
Okay.
We just need to keep playing. I don't think there's going to be any good servers. Yeah, sure, it's settled.
Okay.
Alright, they just accepted it?
Yeah, go on then, yeah.
Alright, yeah, let's play it out.
It's an even playing ground, in theory. If everybody's having issues, then it is a fair playground.
If we both just play on a terrible server, at least all of us are.
Yeah, it's not like one person's lagging or just, you know, that's fine.
Well, we got there in the end.
Yeah, hopefully this carries on.
That has been about 40 minutes.
Ooh, is there gonna be any cover for Boaster here? No. None whatsoever. But that's the bomb down there. Are they gonna actually try and take control of that? Because Pulse did see the guy in Ups come out, but he didn't really get anything done. Ooh, Max and... Oh. Max and Thomas had a bit of a kerfuffle shot.
Pulse has found another frag. K1ck's gone. Scooby's run into some trouble. And so is Archie. So they at least get themselves a 4th round, Ben.
Yeah, that's played out quite well, to be honest. Like, I mean, Boaster did that early aggression, got the kill. Didn't really have any cover, but then you're into Nico. It's not too much of a worry. They didn't have like a game plan in mind. So essentially split and pick and put him out victorious. And the AWP's been picked up. From both sides now as well. Luz's got his out.
Also Smike.
Yeah.
Big man S-Mike.
I dropped a bit of trivia about him because Imi didn't actually know where he's from or anything.
Right.
So I recall playing a crack against his old team. Luz has been rinsed.
Luz has just got absolutely decimated there.
So Smike used to play on that Pro 100 team.
Okay.
And I remember playing a prac against him back in the Joey Reese FM days.
Yeah.
And we were there waiting to start our prac, and then this guy on the other team was 14, and he just keeps typing go, go, go to start the game.
Okay.
And Ian says, say go one more time. And you know what he did?
Said go.
He said go. And that's when Ian said, we're not playing. Just left the server.
I've had enough.
And that's when we didn't play a prac for 3 hours.
That's incredible.
Because of that one incident.
And that was Smike.
It wasn't Smike, but it was his teammate. I don't remember the guy was called now. He'll be like 16 at this point. He's an uppercut.
He's growing up.
Maybe he might still be typing go. Who knows?
Possibly. He very well could be.
I think this round relies on Max. Obviously, Pulse in a really good position, but Max knows there's a guy behind him. But he also knows they're not going A. If he can get this rotate off, he can actually get the drop on him. Pulse. Max can win this round. It'd be a really awkward one to win, but he can definitely do it.
Well,
there's not much time as well.
See if he actually gets something going for himself. The mighty Max, he does like to win rounds like these. Finds the first in StarX, the adjustment there. Smike's getting tagged and fragged Ben, and he's possibly on for the clutch with a headshot. Max is just doing him in.
And he's done it. There we go.
That's a Max round for you.
So it was a bit of an awkward one, but it's definitely a round he wins.
Yeah.
Like, it's one of those, he's got in a really good position, he's got the drop on this first guy, one starts planting and plays it perfectly around his pillars. Really big round to win. They did keep that AWP though, and it means they're on another buy. So Thomas might be caught a bit surprised here based on his purchase. I mean the MP9, it can work quite well on BAPs, but not too sure.
At least Lesnar actually gets the mid pick this time around as well. Kills Scooby rather than just getting one tapped from such an awkward angle. So, good start at least, Ben. Ooh, Smike with a flick down on Mighty Max.
Max should give the call that he hasn't actually fallen back. He has to push through the molly or go. Yeah, he's further up. Can Thomas not hear him birding? Okay, that's a good kill, but he needs backup. Ooh, there we go. K1ck 1v4. Can't feel like this round is over as well, unless he pulls out something crazy. Plenty of grenades on the Endpoint side as well. I think the real questions to be asked about this Endpoint team are how do they perform on T side, really?
Yeah.
Like, especially with the change, obviously Cheeky departing, Boaster coming in on a trial, I believe.
I feel like a bit more of a loose calling style as well,
Yeah,
compared to anything sort of structured.
It's the modern way though, isn't it? Like a lot of teams nowadays, they like the idea of having an IGL who can frag, but also not call in that strict, like, structured sense, but at least give some sort of input, right?
Yeah.
And kind of take control when it's needed, but also let you do your own thing. Which in a team like this, star power wise, you've got some really good players like Boaster. Oh, Thomas can pop off, Leslie can pop off, Max and Pulse do the same thing. We've seen them plenty good in the past.
Yeah, well that's kind of what we said about Max there, that was proven by that one round, you know, he goes on to clutch it from a really big position, just able to dominate in certain rounds, and those are Max rounds, that is like a real thing. Max just is able to just go wild when he's left in this ridiculous clutch the majority of the time.
Yeah. I'm kind of interested this round, so Leslie managed to run across all the way from jungle to triple with his AWP out, and he's got 3 kills, not being punished, make that 4. very awkward round. They were playing a retake to begin with, but then Lezard decided, you know what, I'm running across, and I guess it's worked out. He is a very good AWPer indeed, so fair enough. I mean, 7-0, looking really good. No round has been that close other than that one max round we mentioned.
Yeah.
Comfortable this far. Double AWP has come out as well. Thing is, obviously the player to watch is Lezard, isn't it, on this CT side. I think this is where we saw most improvements from him during the Elite Series times, wasn't it? He mentioned Ross with those heat maps, didn't he? How he didn't want to be complacent, like sitting around trying to get a kill when he didn't need to.
It was better as well how Lazar sort of adapted more into sort of a hybrid player. We saw T-side, he can rifle now, he's not...
Yeah, he's willing to rifle is the thing.
Yeah, he's not tied down to just playing one role for no reason. He'll adapt if he needs to. It makes a whole lot more sense, because you need to see him on a rifle on occasion. He is a tremendous rifler as well. He can actually perform majorly with the AK, but talking about the AKs right now, Ben, Lazar and Boaster, they've been split to pieces as Scooby and Co start to work their way back through. Thomas goes for a play, does actually get the info here and kills Archie.
But Smike's actually managed to get close to market.
Max has spotted him.
He spotted the guy at jungle, but Smike is effectively a CT right now.
Rear. Yeah, it's a free frag there on Max.
Question is what will happen with Pulse here. They know he was on this site, he's already got 1 kill. But if he... Ooh, did the bomber see him? The bomber did see him cross. So it is a 2v2. Like, Thomas thankfully got that kill, and they can't plant triple. Now they can.
Yeah.
That's quite unlucky.
It's all up on Thomas now to clutch this. 1v2. k1ck and Scooby. Let's see if this is going to be a Scooby snack for him, Ben, or a bit of a rub-roll. As the push comes back in, Nate's going to be lobbed out. k1ck taking a big tag. The molly could actually work majorly in his favour. Yeah, it's going to burn him out. He's got to fall back. He can't really aid Scooby. Thomas has got a choice to make it. Yeah, doesn't really work out well for him.
Yeah, not the worst round to lose. I mean, the economy in CT, so it's fine. And this can effectively reset k1ck right now. You know, their economy, it's not great. Like Scooby passed it by himself up, and if they lose that round, it's a force buy, and Endpoint will be looking great. But before we even talk about next round, we need to win this one. Luz is coming to mid for the first time. Oh, he's blocked one of the smokes. Oh no, was it Boaster that blocked it? I think it hit Luzzer. No, it hit Boaster. It hit Boaster. Yeah. Boaster's on 98. So the window smoke is missed because of that. So that's some good knowledge, really, to know exactly where you need to stand in the window to kind of make it miss completely.
It's actually interesting as well how we only see that rarely, considering how impactful
it's a very simple thing, isn't it?
You just need to know.
Yeah. It is a big risk because sometimes people throw that smoke where they'll come out before it's popping and everything, but I mean, most of the time they do wait for it. Scooby nearly ripped Lez's head off again from that same angle.
It's a really awkward angle as well to take that fight from, but he's so confident.
Yeah, as a CC, no matter what gun, you tend to lose that fight. It's AK versus M4 or AWP in this situation. You lose it. The CT hold's been pretty peculiar, if I'm honest. There's like no control on actual mid. They're giving it up on letting Luzzer roam free, which, again, I think he does best in that situation.
You need to try and let him be a bit of a loose cannon. If Luzzer's playing stale and stagnant, that's when he's at his worst. When he's trying to play aggressive and confident CS, he's going to be in a good position. He's
always been a confidence player. Oh, that's unfortunately Boaster. The spread was really unlucky. There's an issue here for k1ck, because that bomb is very far behind and k1ck is already low on this site. Thomas. 1v3 for Arch. Reset round as well.
Yeah, this is a pretty mighty one, Ben. A 1v3 to try and clutch it out. He's waiting for the push to come in. He's got no utility. He is just armed with his Kalashnikov, his trusty AK-47, but is today going to be a good day? Will he not have to use his AK? Goes for the first face. Juicy shot on Thomas. He's pretty much sealed the deal there, really. Max and Luzzer should save at this point, you'd feel, unless they're just going to fully commit and go for it at this point. They can try and push together. Max going to swing wide. He goes down. Luzzer with a big tag, but he's not being able to finish him, Ben. He's not really got much time either.
He does have a kit, but he does have that, I believe, with like a second spur.
That is lucky on the clutch there. Seemed like it was pretty much as good as done at that point.
Yeah, it was a bit... I'm unsure what was really going on in that. Obviously, they're waiting for Max to come around from T-spawn, but there wasn't much, like, two people who were still waiting. They weren't playing together, either. Like, Thomas was just spamming a box, he got tapped, and then Luzzer was in no position to really help him. Or even retrade or anything like that.
It's also like, if Max is going for the full T rotate, Thomas should probably try and wait a few more seconds there before he peeks
Yeah,
connector.
he was trying to force the issue.
Yeah,
But
there's
not
no
in a way
reason
that's
to.
over the top forcing the issue.
Yeah, the way he played that there is not complimenting anyone else, and it's a lot of risk for a very minimal reward if it does work out.
Oh, that's really lucky from Lazar. So close to landing that shot on the go pushing in. I would say tempt the save, but they've got a lot of grenades. They can think about doing it. It's just, again, they're waiting for Max to go and rotate T-spawn. But Archer is also rotating T-spawn as well!
Oh. Uppercuts him though.
The Max rotate gets countered by the Max.
It's the double Max gameplay style. Starix as well going to find the headshot over towards Pulse.
k1ck's stuck in the fire.
Yeah, k1ck's done. Sent off to the burn toward Thomas will end him. Starix is on for the clutch here. He's got experience. And will find the round as well.
He had the confidence there as well. Like, he gave Thomas the chance to win that round. Like, headshot angle, this is when he went for the body shots, really. Very risky approach, to be honest. And Endpoint willing to invest. I mean, Luz's definitely willing to invest. He had 8 grand. Everyone else, not so much. Not so much. I think it's got to be Luzzer cam here, isn't it? Ooh.
So I went for the Pulse push early on there, just because we've seen him do this quite commonly now. Pulse will actually try and go for these very aggressive rounds, yeah.
It's very much a solo play, which... I mean, I'm rarely a fan of a solo play. I can understand it, just if you have the spawn, you've got like a 5-7 CZ or whatever. Yeah. You try and just take the initiative. If I get the kill, fine. Otherwise, I still only had that gun.
Thing is, I wouldn't mind it if it was, say, a small investment and the rest of them hadn't gone for the force up in terms of what they had brought into this round.
Yeah.
But play around Luzzer, really. Try and work with Luzzer, go for a shock and awe style play, work a stack into the mix. That's more where you're going to find success. Early push like that, even if he gets the 1-for-1 trade, A-site was then very open, Ben. They could have gone for a fast play, they would have been able to swarm in, they could have locked that site down pretty quickly. On the retake as well, Endpoint didn't have much. If Thomas doesn't find that frag, that's really one rifle they've got to clear out. 4 players that will be bunkered in.
Yeah, that round, well, this round rather. Arch managed to get through B without Thomas's knowledge whatsoever. Les has got a tough save. Yeah. Players are hunting, but they're not hunting aggressively. I mean, he started running now, but...
Lazar did hear the footstep as well, so he was ready for it. Finds the first.
Ooh. Just get out there.
Yeah, just run at this point. The only thing is, Ben, if he goes for the T-spawn save, he is going to get cut off. Holds the angle, though. Lazar knows there could be someone afoot, but is he going to be ready? No, he pushes out, doesn't clear behind.
Not ideal, really. And this should be the first eco round, really, from Endpoint.
I mean, at the very least, if you look at it for what it is in terms of the base scoreline, Ben, they've won the half.
Yeah, I mean, they elected to start CT as well, so they got that sort of... They started on the right foot, I suppose is the best way of looking at it.
Yeah.
Especially, I'd like to see them get 10 rounds, though. I feel like that's the mark that you should be trying to aim for. When you go through the rounds, you go 7-0 up, and then if you drop 2 or 3, you feel like we need to get this to the 10, just to make sure we've got an advantage from that half.
Well, it also brings the confidence back in your court for the next half. Yeah.
A lot of them have taken off their silencers for their USBs. I mean, it's just Thomas and Lazar, really, but...
I don't know why people do this. It really...
I don't know.
So...
Some people do it just as like a bit of a meme.
Yeah, right.
But at the same time, it does do less damage and also is not silenced.
It does less damage, it's not silenced, and it's less accurate. These are all facts, right? I remember when I was at Gfinity one time, I asked Forrest, that was it, I asked Forrest about it. I was just like, dude, why do you always take the silencer off? And he went, I just do it just because it reminds me of 1.6.
Yeah.
And it's like, alright, I guess, but...
Yeah.
There is no reason to, do you know what I mean? It is just negatives.
Yeah. Like on Source and stuff, I remember there was a thing where the unsilenced...
It was better.
It was better at time, than the only advantage was silencer plus spraying through smoke. That was, it made sense.
Yeah, but like CSGO, it's literally worse in every way. Yeah. If you unsilence the silenced USP, it is by far worse in every category that it is being silenced. It's also then worse than the USP as well. Sorry, not a USP, a P2000.
Yeah.
Maybe they're doing it just for a meme, because...
It is a meme for the most part, I think. Because they wouldn't do it on the pistol round. So
no.
Why would you do it now? As well.
But it's also the fact, like, you can still get these kills here with a USP if you're going to hit headshots.
Mm-hmm.
So why throw away that chance? Yeah, I never really understood it. You do see a lot of players that do it still.
Was an awkward situation with Archer. He has got the kill. Thomas, can he live?
Yeah.
Looks like yes, he can.
He's out.
I was wondering if he'd take that fight just to risk it. Decent save though. Means he gets full nades at B. Luzzer gets his AWP again.
Yeah. That's the only thing. If he went for it and died, the returns would have been pretty bad.
Right, so again, Endpoint not going really for any mid control whatsoever. No, they at least have double con here. That's a good nade from Boaster. Yeah. He threw it a bit different to me. I thought it was going to be thrown. Max getting picked off there is not ideal. I'm not sure how long he was there for that situation, or if he got hit while crossing, but... Ooh, Lazzar's inches away from landing that as well.
Dude, they can backstab at Connector pretty easily here, though. Luzzer's now realizing this, getting a little bit more panicked. They left window control early. All the map control is in favor of them kicked in terms towards mid and close towards B. So they're now pushing that bomb down as well. They could go for a short play here, Ben.
Yeah, Pulse has been spotted at CT as well. But does... Ooh, that's unfortunate. Yeah, I was going to say, does he actually know that they have short control? Which I think he did, but he didn't quite click.
So Smite's actually been looking pretty effective as well, with the openers he's got now.
Yeah. They've crashed one at times with this mid control.
Yeah, it was very relaxed. I mean, they're sort of playing choke point CS really towards Connector, trying to cut off the rotates, but there was no contention at all towards mid. They kind of just let it happen. Oh, we are going to see the Endpoint timeout at least. Good to see.
Yeah, I feel like it should have come, or at least been sort of a, that existence style timeout on that UK round they had. Just to talk about things, because a k1ck found out the way that they were playing. Like, they didn't have any control towards mid. They could have abused that a bit more, which they have done. So I feel like they should have done that kind of pause there, and then evaluate it from that, but instead we're seeing it now where I imagine this can be 8-6, and then they're hoping they can get 9-6, but that's still a situation where you lose the pistol, you lose the second round, and then if you lose that first buy, assuming you get no plant, it's tied. Like, that advantage on CT, 7-0, it's pretty much done for nothing.
Well, in terms of the buy, you got 2 5-7s. So Max and Pulse actually switching up things up here a little bit, not sticking with the CZ. They have gone back to the 5-7.
Yeah, Lezard has done the same as well. I remember I was talking to him a few days ago, and he mentioned that he has switched to it, which it's very hard to tell with some of the players. I was going to say new breed players, but then it's just non-previous gen players, right? Some of them like the idea of just picking gun just as a joke sometimes.
Yeah.
So you never really know if they think it's good. So this eco strat kind of counter the mid control, but k1ck have outdone it. Straight out of the pause, we'll just do it an A-smoke style thing. We'll just take heavy control as a 5. And this should work perfectly, assuming Max doesn't get a fantastic flash here that works.
So the flash goes
Flash
in.
comes through.
Everyone is blind. Boaster with the first headshot over towards Scooby. Thomas as well, hammering down with the CZ. Boaster's just tearing him apart from the back line, Ben. Smite with the AWP will eventually take down Mighty Max. Thomas from miles away is able to punish. And it's the 1v1. Boaster to finish it would be a free K for the man, but fortunately he isn't hot enough to take down. Smike will fall short. That was a nice eco round though.
Yeah, so I did mention that flash was a pinnacle to that entire
everyone was blind
retake scenario essentially.
Yeah.
What Boaster was 2 bullets away from winning that round, if I'm honest. Like when he peeked on top of the box, he probably would have got the kill if he had another bullet, maybe 2. Double up is out though again, so we saw that earlier on. Thomas took it towards B and then Lezzer back in connector again. He hasn't really had any success here this game.
What's awkward there though is Thomas actually could have got the opening frag of the game. Smikes went for the aggressive push all the way out, tried to go for the early phase. Thomas has missed the shot. Luz is now pretty negated as well. Hasn't really come into effect much into this round. And Thomas is constantly going to be dubious about this. He got the smoke down. If he tries to go for the early push though, Ben, he could be punished. He will go for it as well.
Not ideal. At least Max in a bit of an awkward state. He's only got the smoke to play with. Is he trying to find any grenades there?
Laz has rotated in now.
So he does have the smoke, which should do a decent enough job for now. But he doesn't actually check, though, if somebody has pushed up. I think he trusts Liz's word on it, that there isn't anybody in the close corner.
In terms of bomb control, back here over towards T-spawn, we do have k1ck just holding, watching from mid, and then Smike holding underpass. The bomb is just down. Looks like k1ck's now going to grab the bomb and move up, though, Ben.
Yeah, it looks like end goal is definitely towards B at least right now, but there's two players running a fake at A, and it's pulling them fully as well. There's only 35 seconds left. They assume it's the full-blown attack. But Pulse should be able to give knowledge. There was only two. He's only heard the two. But it's too late. Max heard the flashes B. They've got the one flash to play with. Max has the kit. It's very difficult round to play. There's 4 flashes on that T side. Retaking the B site as well.
That's rough
this is
as
gonna
well.
be hard.
Boaster's a little bit more delayed here. He pushed up all the way towards ramp Ben to grab that AK, but then realised there was also an AK at connector on the way back through. So he's wasted a little bit of time there. They are going to try and go for this play. Max has to clear the angle on the right. Kill Smike. It's too late. They've lost Boaster. Now you're at a big deficit in terms of firepower. They're going to try pushing off the back of it. Max is clutching it out all on his own, but it's up to Luzzer now to finish him. 34 HP. You can hear that bomb ticking away rapidly. Misses the flick. That's the round.
Oh, that's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Max got... I mean, he got the 2 kills he needed in that, so it was just slightly too late on the Boast one.
Yeah.
You could argue Boast went a bit too fast for it, maybe. Like assuming Max was relaying information, I'm coming behind, I'll clear apps for you. But we don't know that, obviously it's communication, we never know what's really going on.
Yeah, you don't know if that call was made or not.
Yeah. So as I said, 8-7, considering you were 7-0 up. Not great, not much adaptive play, I guess is the way I put it.
What's interesting as well, that's actually only 4 rounds throughout the entire half, Ben, where the bomb went down.
Yeah, which it says a lot about the T rounds really as well, just by the fact that they were able to, fully end every single player on the map. I believe that was a Sliggy right there on B.
It looked like a Sliggy. Oh, commotion though. The Glocks are actually coming back
fast
through.
rotate.
Archie with the 1 headshot on Luzzer. Max.
The Smike's already behind as well. They need to kill these close kitchen players.
Oh,
Pulse.
The double tap coming through. Might have just clutched them out the round there, unless Smike can get the drop on him with the adjustment. Misses the flick. Pulse is really tempting fate right now, Ben. Somehow dancing with the devil as he barely stays alive. Left in the 1v1. Smike needs to try and clutch it out. Pushes up. Sits on the close angle. He's missing all these shots, but eventually we'll get it off.
Oh, that's such a rough situation. I mean, Smike obviously knew that they must have been telling him there was a kit near that south boost area.
Yeah, he must have called that. He knew he was okay to just try and chill.
Yeah, which begs the question why Pulse kind of forced the issue, I suppose, at times there. Like, there was a bit of an aggressive crouch peek, I suppose. But for them, considering the situation, they went down 2 players, evened it up, and then it was a 1v3. They got the plant anyway, so that's fine. That means they can buy next. Does mean Pulse can get a deagle now, so I'm interested to see what happens with that. He's the only one who really has a good pistol.
They're going to be rolled out from Scooby. Chucks that down towards Max. Scrapes a little bit of HP off him. In reality, it's going to be a hard
very slow
round.
round, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they
It
can't
is,
really do
it is a
much.
throwaway. It is a throwaway. It's just, I think they're just trying to waste nades. It's a classic corner situation where you don't really have any set, like eco strats or anything you want to run. Just try and make sure they use grenades, try and figure out how they're playing. Which is what is happening right now. I mean, Pulse is getting the info that they've used 2 smokes apps, they've used a few smokes B, and it looks like it'll just be some sort of A burst or go on Reese's first shot out Palace, I reckon. I mean, Starix is forcing the issue though. He has found 1. And that should start everything else as well. Everything should start falling like dominoes here.
Yeah, they're just sprinting their way through. Damage is being done though, the kills are starting to come out. You got Max left, and Max is gone. Starix will finish him. Now that's 9 rounds for k1ck as well, Ben. There is going to be the buy for Endpoint, obviously, but I mean, if they don't find this round, that's really going to be awkward for them. That is no rounds won, in quite a ridiculous amount of time. That's 8 rounds now on the trot for k1ck since Endpoint's last round. At that point, that can barrel out of control quite ridiculously. We're looking at probably an 11-8 here if things start to go wrong in this fashion again.
Yeah, very awkward situation to be in. Like it sits in the back of your head as well. Like when you know you've been up at like 7-0 at one point, and now you're suddenly losing only 9-8 as well. So you haven't, as you said, no rounds in 8. It starts playing on your mind a bit.
Streak.
And k1ck have actually opted for like the Brucey bonus here, where they keep the SMGs into that 3rd round, knowing the other team has a bye, and they play close. And Thomas has been hit by his own play there, if I'm honest. He did that on the 3rd round last half, and he got 2 kills for it.
You feel like you clear the angle, really, wouldn't you? If it was
I don't think you go for it, if I'm honest. You get somebody to flash it for you, at least, something like that, because you're already a man up, now you're even. It's not great. I would say an unneeded play. Ooh, Spike. Neither player looking at the actual connector. It's a very rough situation for Leza and Pulse. They've got the one flash, which Leza has. Fantastic flash from k1ck. Flash it smoke, yeah. 10-8, and I mean they got the opening kill in that round, and then it just fell to pieces, right?
Yeah.
Technically, it all stems from that one instant with, Thomas going for that single pick towards Apps, and nobody there to help him / help him make the play or double up with him. Which you could argue is inexperience, maybe on his behalf, maybe nobody listened to him when he made the call, that sort of thing. But from a pure outside POV, it looks like it was a solo play.
Well, a lot of commotion towards mid this time around. Endpoint are going to try and go for a fast play through, potentially. This will be the 11-8, though. It's kind of what you expected off the basis of where we were sat at. And k1ck, they can just keep building from this as well. They're really soaring high. Cash actually should be in a good spot as well. Yeah, I mean, basically 5k across the board. So you've got 8k down one player as well. Especially if this is a flawless round, which it is. So they're really going to be soaring then. There's not a star in heaven that they can't reach.
Fantastic. Yeah, they'll be bopping to the top, it seems.
They're never going to stop then.
We were hoping that Leza does break free later on in this game. I mean, he's been sitting around 14 kills, but he hasn't had any real... Like, he's had some plays where it's questionable at times.
Yeah.
But he's one of those players as well where you... Like, I was speaking to Ars about it. He's one of those players, you'll see him on 25 plus kills, but you'll see that he's had so many situations where you know he can get more. Which is the same right now. He's got 14, which is still fantastic. But you know he could have got more. Like, he's had loads of situations where he's missed or been in a bad position.
Yeah.
This round's been a lot better. I mean, there's been an awkward mid-take by k1ck, and everything's going right for Endpoint right now.
Well,
this is a super aggro play.
Max is going to go down. Thomas as well also follow the same fate. Yeah, they're just sprinting in, bouncing off the brick wall, but Leza finally step up. Now, he can be a bit of an artist with the AK. Can carry on playing like that. Maybe they can redeem themselves and paint a pretty picture going into the next round, but the rotate on Starix could have been impactful. Doesn't matter though, Ben. Boaster finishes him. It's a 3v1. It's up to Smike to get himself an ace to win this round. It would have to be something outrageous.
Yeah, fantastic kill from Boaster. I mean, he's kept his mind aware of where he is, kept his crosshair on the spot. Starix's positioning just then with Pulse not really having much knowledge on that A site. It was kind of key that they got that kill. I would say it pretty much wins the round, but Smike still has a chance here. Pulse isn't looking the right way. He does have a kit. No smoke though. It's only planted default too. Not a great plant for Leza.
Flashbangs off the wall. Pushes in. Spots the head of Boaster as well. That's a read. That's a bit of information that can help out. Tries to get the kill on Leza and does find success. Boaster has to push him, but he had the Molotov, Ben. That's huge. That will save him an awful lot of time. He cannot get the defuse, but he did still get the ace.
Yeah, so obviously the round does go in Endpoint's favour, but look at the money. k1ck on 11k of 3 players. Smite can drop if need be, which he will do. Picks up the AWP. And Endpoint, the money is effectively the same as last round, even though they won. Horrible situation to be in. I mean, you see Pulse, he's got a Galil. There's 4 AKs out, but look at the nades. There's 2 smokes being used here. Pulse does the mid smoke. Boaster's got the pop flash ramp ready. So this can be a very dry and puggy situation to be in right here.
It's the contact entry in. They go off the back of the flashbang. Early test coming through. They actually do kill Starix. Oh, Max with a nice little flick shot there as well. Kills Arch. And now, Ben, there's only 3 players left on kick. They have got the cross, and k1ck, hook, line, and sinker finishes Max and Thomas as they hit the bottom of the pool.
Fantastic, also. You have to feel unfortunate for the player at the back. I think it was Thomas in that situation.
Yeah, they just lined up for him.
Oh, double mollies as well, both in a horrible situation, and now it's down to the last 2 players. Again, I said no nades. They know where the players are as well. 1v3 for Pulse. I'm not sure what he can do in this situation, but he does get the first one. There's only uppers left now.
They're giving him 1v1s, Ben. They've offered up the fight each and every time. k1ck had time to switch to his P250 and find the headshot, and also find the 12th round for kick. And now that is an absolute kick for Endpoint when you think about it. I mean, the money is going to be terrible. They could buy an AK between them if they wanted, but you know,
funds.
Yeah, they could pool the money together. But other than that, it's not going to be great. But we're looking at what, a bit of a deco. Yeah, they're going to go for the deco 2P250.
Classic deco. Yeah. A lot of the situations these rounds are just going in Kick's favour right now. There's a lot of situations where it's like 1v2, and they just get beat on that last hurdle effectively.
It's just unfortunate, to be honest. I mean, the alternate timeline is as well. Max and Thomas don't get collided. Even say Max goes down, Thomas gets through. Thomas can hold towards jungle, cut off a rotate, actually be more impactful in the round. It's a whole different story, but it's not the one we got to see. That chapter is closed. Let's see where they go from here. Round 22. 4 players remain, so 4v4. They're trying to make their play up towards the B site, potentially, to stack 2-2 apiece from kick.
The question is, what kind of opening can they find here as well? The CTs on A are playing double CT, right? But Starix is checking in between Palace for exit right now, and every few seconds he'll check CT. So right now Pulse has got this jungle control effectively. You know, he doesn't know it, but he does have the control, which he'll find out in the next 10 seconds or depending on what his teammates do. But if he were able to do anything towards that B site from behind, but k1ck is actually watching it, but with that pick, Pulse then needs to make his move, which he will do now, but he's going to get shot in the back by Starix. There's a really unfortunate situation where they, even though they had 4, they had all their bases covered because of how far back they were playing on one of the sites. Yeah. And Endpoint couldn't really get much done, especially from the first pick going Kick's way on that B site.
Here's
and
what
attack does come out
as well, right? It's a good thing they've actually gone for the attack now, but is this an issue now where it's the lack of structure? You imagine the calling style of a Boaster versus how k1ck will call. It's a lot looser, it seems like. It'd be, more just based off the fly, based off the play, split and pick, try and work together. For k1ck, it seemed like it was a lot more set in stone. You kind of followed his, his rule. He ruled with an iron fist in terms of strategy, and that was maybe better for a team like this, as it always seemed like that's what they've needed. Since the departure of Imi, there's been an issue with communication, it seems. They've not always got the right strategy there for them. And this is sort of what we're seeing, Ben. They've hit a brick wall, really. They've got no adaptation. Kick, first couple of rounds, they were getting their butts handed to them, Ben. They read them, Endpoint knew how to counter it. But what happens? Kick adapt. What have we not seen from Endpoint? Adaptation. It's just stale all of a sudden.
Yeah. Speaking of not so stale, look at this buy coming out.
2 Mat 10s, an MP7, and double Glock.
So Boaster, I think he'll have a Mac 10 somewhere, right? Or is he just going P250? So this is like a half buy. So they're accepting this could go to 49. So Boaster's doing the smoke that I mentioned on UK Prem. This smoke is going to land on the edge of balcony, at B, and they're going to burst pretty much instantly as that's landing. So you see right now on B, that's landing on the balcony from spawn. But because of how early you get the info about that, the B player can instantly molly, but he's already been caught out. But it doesn't matter. The gunpowder isn't there.
Yeah, I mean, they've got a couple of frags towards the end, but they've already lost everyone on the squad. It could be a Max round. You never know. You can't count him out in these situations. Bombs down. It's a 1v3 now for Max to try clutch it. Gets the reload off with the M4 as well, but he needs to be an absolute monster, and the backstab is there. Arch sneaking up from the rear, spots out his back foot, knows he can end Max, and that should be another round. 14 now picked up for kick. It looked like it was there. The right idea came through. You could see there was an attempt, Ben, but the proof just wasn't in the pudding. They've not done their bakery.
Yeah. The rough issue with that strat is, just as I said, you get the call so early that there's something coming towards B. that I feel like you can't invest all 5 players into it. It just isn't worth it, right? You can send everyone there, and it's just not going to work out because that people got the molly down. Sure, you put it out, but there'll always be the mid player pulling away towards that B site.
Yeah.
So I feel like it's got to be a situation where you like maybe send 2 people there to fake it or something, and then you go fast short maybe, like try and split it in some way. Put some pressure on the other side of the map because there will be someone missing.
Cool. That nade's gonna hit k1ck like a nade hat, much like the AWP hat, but different. You got a nice position in play here as well. From who is that? Who have we got? Archie, just waiting towards connector. If they push through, can punish him quite heavily. It's very slow from Endpoint, Ben. The smoke's going to come down. That's actually the counter on the connector play. He's waiting as long as he could. Was hoping he could get the molly down just as the smoke dissipated. Did that actually go off?
Yeah, it did.
Nice.
You got it just in time. The awkwardest bit about this controller is that the CTs pretty much know what's coming. But will Arch have anybody to back him up here? Thankfully he did. He had k1ck on short, who has been prominent on the CT side from short with his AWP. There was the multi-kill earlier on as well.
That's filth from Pulse, though. It looked like maybe he was starting to set him up for success in the round, but instead it's boasted to go down. Scooby will finish him. Ben, they're 1 round away from moving on and leaving Endpoint in the dust, and that is unfortunate, really. You know, they fought 2 for now, Ben, but it's not good enough.
Yeah, you could argue it's just, as you said, the lack of structure, maybe. Obviously, the decision to remove k1ck came, what was it, 3 days ago now?
Yeah, mere days ago.
So, the switch in with Boaster, you mentioned it's a bit more of a loose style, and it means they can't potentially stand and bang properly with a side that kick right now. Like, they started off strong, but it's just kind of fallen apart.
It's even just that it's base core, Ben. Like, even if we just strip it back to its simplest fashion, removing your in-game leader, you know, days before like a Prem season starts, or like before qualifiers like this, and having to get used to a new in-game leader at the helm, it throws everything into the works. You know what I mean? You can't go in and play that standard style of CS that you want to be able to run, because things are going to be different. You've not got that caller there. You've got Boaster. It's a completely different style of calling. He himself works very differently as well, just as an individual player. I mean, you take a Shiki to how a Boaster plays in terms of play style alone. When he's got a rifle in his hands, they're going to approach rounds very differently. So the whole team's going to take a while to actually adjust.
Definitely. I mean, that round, I guess the best way of putting it was Thomas single-handedly won it, right? He got those 2 kills at mid with a scout, which I would probably argue he doesn't get that at a high rate of success.
You're not going to be able to do that every round.
Yeah, getting the 2 kills as well. Like the first one, fair enough, it's like a 50-50. But after that, it's you don't get 2 in a round very often. And k1ck have adapted their way of playing A as well. You see Smike, he's just kind of... Look how close he is with that AWP. He does have support from Arch, but if any flashes were to come into ramp or just over the top, this burst could come beautifully.
He gets the contact frag though, that's just what he wanted, but Boaster from the sideline does mow them both down towards mid as well. Thomas is going to be able to find the frag on Starix, and that's site control taken, Ben. This is their domain now. This could be another round, that could be an 11-15. From that point onwards as well, Endpoint, they're looking better, but they're really going to need to keep this up. The only caveat to this, look at the cash that k1ck have left after this round.
Yeah, you can see that we mentioned the structure style play. These sorts of strats aren't really strats in that same sense that an organised team would run.
No.
But they're like set pug plays, which can work beautifully, just as they've done right there. Which, I mean, it's working so far, but the question is, how long does it take for k1ck to adapt? Because we've already seen them adapt in the past in this game. I imagine it won't be too long, depending on how Endpoint reacts to them potentially adapting themselves.
It sort of reminds me a lot of... do you remember when RDL came in, back on FM? And he was talking about the idea of how you need to be able to adapt a lot. It's one of the major points of CS, you know, you've got to have a backup plan, you've got to have a backup to the backup plan to be able to adjust in that sort of mindset. That still seems to be a major issue with a majority of UK teams, where you'll notice if point A starts failing, they haven't really prepared themselves a plan B that will work to such a great effect. It's hard for a lot of UK teams to adapt on the fly. It's weird how they sort of get tunnel vision per se.
Yeah, it's just one of the things. Like teams will play Like, so for example, if you were to watch, as a newcomer into CS, you'll watch all these top tier tournaments, right? You'll see Astralis, your FaZe, all these teams winning, and you'll look at how they play, you'll try and use it yourself. But then, you're not taking into account how much goes into what they're doing, exactly. You'll see a player, he'll jump out window, onto short or something, he'll get the kill and you'll be like, I'm gonna do that. But you haven't thought, why has he done this? Like, how often does he land this? How often does he do this? Why does he do this? Like,
yeah. What is
those
the
sort of
reason
other
causing
question
the
marks behind the play, not
Yeah.
just he did that, so I'm going to do it. Like, it's like there's people who will genuinely do stuff that Simple does, which is like throwing a AWP over the window wall, just because they saw somebody else do it. Like, it was a bit of a nonsensical play, but it worked out for him. But it doesn't mean it's going to work out for you, purely on the fact that there's a lot of question marks behind how the pros play it.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of decision making behind it. Like, you need to know why he went for that play at the time he went for it. It's not something that's going to work, you know, globally across the board. It's a lot of just based on certain things.
If it was as simple as that, everybody would be a professional, right? You'd be able to copy everyone else, and you would know exactly how it works.
Well, that's the thing. That's the beauty of CS. Is it's like, you know, you need to know when and why. And unfortunately, in terms of the where, that's going to be Max getting killed by Scooby.
Yeah, really strong play. I mean, they relied on the M4 to make the play, which is why there is an A stack right now, and that's because of that kill. It forces Endpoint into that A stack. They haven't regained that info at B. They haven't even faked the info at B, and it means that they still have that stack there. And this could be a rough round, assuming they don't clear things out properly.
Well, Boaster's going to go in first with the AK. He spotted out ahead there on the site, gets the adjustment on Smike as well. Starrick should die. This should be a safe round from this point onwards. Boaster looked very confused there. Didn't know where that tag came from.
There was a lot of gunfire. Very unsure.
Well, Scooby saves an M4, 2 flashes and a kit, so that's absolutely fine. He can afford to get away with that. Arch actually finds himself an AK as well, so not the worst thing in the world. Yeah. Ooh. Are they going to try hunt for this? What are they doing on the side of Endpoint right now? Just playing it safe.
Just kind of holding.
Yeah.
Technically, at this point, it's never really worth hunting, just on the fact that
Not with the
you are
cash
on
over.
match point as well. Like, chances are, if you mess it up, you could force yourself into horrible. Or technically your last round. So if you keep winning, it's still your last round until you force overtime. Bit of an unneeded play right there. I mean, it doesn't matter too much. Leza does have 10k, but still a bit question marks behind the play, I suppose. So yeah, you mentioned Smike earlier on in the game with Zorp.
Yeah.
He does have 30 kills as well.
Yeah, I mean, he had the 1v5. Yeah, well.
Yeah. On the
He's had a
CT
lot of
side,
big
he's picked it up a
rounds.
lot. I think he only had like 12 kills when he swapped.
Ooh, that's a bad
More
miss from him,
contact
though.
plays, yeah.
You can't help but feel like he's got both of those entries there, really, as the push came out.
Oh.
You can see the difference here as well in retake, Ben, and how they're actually playing this kick. As soon as they lose site control, they instantly fall back, wait for the full rotate to come in, and retake as a 5. Endpoint, we had a couple of players trying to make plays individually. It's very different.
So the question is, how big are these two mollies right now? There's 3 smokes on k1ck alive right now, but everybody's stuck ramp and Tetris. It's a horrible situation. Leza gets the second one, but it's a 1v5. No way does he get anything done.
Yeah, that's good.
And that will be game. 16-12, I mean, don't think Steam thinks. We'll just think of it as, it was 7-0 up, and then they were down, what was it, 15-9?
They lost, how many rounds did we see them lose in a row?
They lost 10 in a row. They got one back, then lost 4 more. So it was a full, they went 15-9. So in terms of the